today's question for AJ is rather interesting, and it came from Isha. And she wanted to know a little bit about my relationship and about how we do bonding in terms of our relationship. So I thought since I got no topic for this week, I would just share about my relationship. Okay, so let us begin this video. Om Shanti, my name is Garret. Before I start the topic off, please make sure you guys remember to hit like, subscribe, and comment your learnings in the comment section below. I'm dedicated to make 4 videos a week to spread more light and positivity out there to the world. It's also nice to know where you guys are tuning in from so we could actually connect within this space, okay? So, today's question is by Isha. So, she contacted me via the Creator Circle app. So, her question was initially not about this. It was initially about emotional intelligence, so emotional independence as well. So I've created this video actually for this Monday, and turns out that when I answered most of that question in this video, right, she asked about further on towards relationships. So she wanted to find out because she realized that I was wearing a ring on my finger. And I told her, yes, I'm actually married with a single daughter, with a little daughter right now, okay? And yeah, so she wanted to know, like, I would like to know about your bonding qualities, which is more required to be in a relationship, and the things you admire in her. So I thought I'll just share these few questions, and I will just let her know what are my relationships and how I handle my relationship with my wife, okay? So as far as I know, I would like to know about your bonding. So take for instance, right, whenever if you are looking in a relationship, right, most couples would usually talk about how should they bond. So in the past, right, we tend to be a little bit more. I tend to be. I would say I would tend to be the more adventurous type. So I would tend to say every weekend when we were in Singapore, right, every weekend we would want to go out. So I would tell her to let's go out, let's travel to different spots to actually try out different foods, and we will go to different places. Okay, that is cafe hopping, and as well as going to watch a movie, so on and so forth. Okay, so I will always want to be going out to see different things. Okay, that was before I went through a spiritual shift. Okay, and yeah, that was the most of the bonding back in Singapore. So what changed after spiritual awakening? So I became the more introverted ones, and she was also introverted. She I would say she's not so introverted, but she is more of a homely person. She likes to stay home, and right now I think the personality a little bit changed. But right now she's okay. She's fine to stay at home. But I think it just gets over a while that you get sick of staying at home, right? So the bonding at home, I think most common bonding style is to watch a TV. So right now I think we hardly watch TV because of yeah, I think I'm actually swamped with trying to do videos on my YouTube as well as my TikTok. So it's consuming a lot of my time. And right now, since we have our little daughter has just born during August. So this period, right, was actually, as a parent, I think as parents, right, we spend more time bonding with our daughter right now. So yeah, I would say bonding in between relationships, right, can be very different for people. It all boils down to the character of your partner that you're looking for, as well as your character. And if you were to understand emotional intelligence, right, when it all boils down to when you're picking a partner at that point, your level of consciousness at that point also. So most people in a relationship, right, would be having expectations. So I would tend to say that whatever relationship that you come by or you ever chance upon is based on your karma. Okay, And if that karma has came to you, it all boils down to whether or not you can come to acceptance. Okay, if you come to acceptance, right, that happiness derives inward, right, then the relationship would just be unconditional acceptance of your partner. Then you will always ultimately be happy no matter what kind of circumstances happen. Okay, so bonding, the type of bonding would just be if when you're comfortable with your partner, right, any kind of activity would be a bonding for you. Even just cutting the grass, as well as doing our little garden together, right, is also considered bonding. Okay, so that answers the first question. So qualities which is most required to be in a relationship. Qualities, I wouldn't say qualities. Like I say, it all boils down to your level of consciousness, how you view relationships. Okay, so take for instance, people have a specific character or have a specific guideline, I would say guideline, that they want to see in their relationship. So when you have a specific idea that or qualities that you're looking for in your other half, there is an expectations. Okay, and when expectations often lead to disappointment, so don't have any form of expectations. See whatever it comes and whatever you feel comfortable with. If there's this synergy or this attraction between this your half and you, okay, then see how it works, you see. So it all boils down to some of the topics that I've covered before about twin flames and soulmates. Okay, whether it's twin flame or soulmates, right, nonetheless you are bound to meet. So when you meet is how you actually work out in this relationship. Okay, unconditional acceptance usually is the best way to keep the relationship going. Okay, like I say, if you are looking for qualities, some of these qualities initially when I started off, my consciousness was pretty low in the back then, and I was looking for my partner to be a strong woman as well. She's able to look after the house, she's able to look after me, so she's able to be independent. She has to be able to well, I mean, she has to be an all-rounder, basically, has to have a career life sorted out. So she has to come from a family that is a family background that is much more stable, does not have any say any bad habits or any kind of vices. So I was pretty like I say, I was pretty I would say materialistic back then, and I would say that I was quite selfish in some sense. So if we are looking for qualities, right, people would also expect qualities from you as well. So like I say, relinquish all these thoughts of expectations and see what it comes, and see when you're looking for relationships, right, it's just what it feels right. You see, if it feels good for you, then go ahead, because ultimately it could be even an arranged marriage, you see. So I'm sure in India most of the family cultures would want to have an arranged marriage. And perhaps maybe you are asking this question because you're telling this criteria to your parents, but nonetheless, right, when you're telling criteria to your parents, telling them, look, I want a husband that is so and so, perhaps maybe you can just say, see what it comes, arrange for them, for your potential partner to come, and just meet. You see, meet and see. The simplest way is by talking to each other, the kind of synergy. So for me, right, initially when I started, I met my wife, right, it was in the first working company together. So we didn't see eye to eye, you see. And even when we don't see eye to eye, that somehow there was this thing that caught my attention, because back then I wasn't really clear what I truly want in my life. But somehow when you notice somebody, if somebody ticks you off and annoys the crap out of you, right, it means that that person holds certain energy and holds certain power over you, and you just seem to want to explore and find out more about this person. And when that happens, right, usually you guys are meant for each other, you see. And even if you guys are not meant for each other, you guys can actually work things through and eventually progress forward into a relationship that is long lasting and fulfilling, you see. And ultimately, right, even if you were to clash time to time, it through the relationship. Everyone will go through quarrels, arguments. It's all a matter of acceptance, and it's all a matter of trying to work things out. You see, from time to time, even up to now, there will always be tiny arguments because we are human beings, and human beings, right, it always comes down to synergy and how you work with energies. You can't control people. When you have expectations of a person, it means that you expect that person to work or to act the way that you want them to. And if you as a human being, you can't always act the way that your partner wants from you, then how can you expect your partner act the way for you? You see, so this is likewise, right? So like I say, come to a self acceptance, as well as come to a standpoint whereby you feel like there's no need to expect from any relationship. Just be happy with yourself. The like I said, emotional detachment, right, would mean that in any kind of situations or any kind of circumstances, right, as long as you are happy with yourself, you are the happiest person on earth. Okay, you don't need to please anyone, you don't need to expect anyone, don't need to have any form of requirements expecting from another person. Soul on a journey. Remember this sentence. Everyone here is soul on a journey. Likewise, any relationship that happens to you or are bound to meet with you, both of you have some karmic debts to deal with, okay, and have lessons to actually learn from one another or help one another grow. So that is the whole idea of having a relationship in the first place. Okay, so lastly, what are the things you admire in her? So honestly, I look at her, right, every bit of it is right now, especially when you're conscious, right, every bit of it is something for me to admire about, because when I look at her, I see, even though she has very strong character, and that's the whole point, right, I realized that it's because of this strong character that has been drawn me to her, you see. And she's always wanting to win, she's always wanting to fight, that to want to be the better, want to always win me, you see. So I think in a relationship there's always something to be, there's always one person that one party will always want to win. So it's all about whether you want that person to grow. If you want that person to grow, then you can state your point, but like I say, state the point in the positive thinking. If you think in the negative thoughts, then you will come into anger, and when the angers happen, right, then there will be arguments. So that is how I see relationship. So I admire things like she's able to sort of learn things very quickly, and admire things like she's really independent. So I think she'll probably be able to thrive well or survive even better without me as well. So things like that. So she's also a good mother right now. I've noticed she's able to take care of the daughter really well. And if I were to be the one handling the taking care of the daughter, I think I may not do it as well as her, for sure, because everyone knows feminine energies are a lot better when dealing with kids, right? So, but nonetheless, no excuses. So everything that you admire is she's also good at creating surprises, very creative. She's good at preparing food for the family. She's very good at she's always thinking of things like how can I improve my family, taking care of our health. So there's a lot of things that one of the things that I admire also is she's very detail oriented, whereby she knows what when a family, or when it come down to a marriage life, right, you will know that when you stay together, you need to buy all these groceries, and you need to know what are the stuff that you need to purchase for cleaning the house, all this kind of like wet wipes or all kind of toilet papers, all this kind of stuff. And she would, in her grab of her hand, she would know everything. So without even me asking, she would know what to say. Oh, it's time for us to go and get some groceries. It's time for us to go and get some items from the groceries from the supermarkets and so on and so forth, without a shopping list. So that's the things that I admire about this person. Okay, and it doesn't have to come to physical looks. It doesn't have to come to emotional or mental, or even whether a person is smart or not, or even a person is rich or not. As long as there's a specific quality that you see in a person, emphasize on that quality and you will realize that you admire that person a lot more. You see, like I say, anything about thoughts, right? Whatever you focus on, seemingly will always expand inside your thoughts. So it is how you think of that person. If you think nasty of that person, you can find even the nittiest grain in that person to find fault with. You see, so I can always list out 101 qualities of that person because I think positively of this person. If I think negatively of this person, I will find all the qualities that are, I would say it's not qualities, I will find all the faults in this person. Okay, so seemingly understand what you truly want and understand your level of consciousness when you are looking forward in your relationship. So also ask yourself this question: are you ready for a relationship? Okay, because it doesn't have to come down to bonding, it doesn't have to come down to qualities. It all boils down to what feels right for you. If it feels right for you, then do it, and do it your best. Okay, do it in the sense that what I say do it your best, right, means that come to an emotional acceptance. Okay, when you come down to emotional acceptance and come to emotional detachment, then that relationship will be outstanding. Okay, because you love everyone unconditionally, not just him or her or whatever. Okay, when a person is unconditional loving to everyone, right, then everyone would love that person. Okay, so I hope you learned something from this video, and it's close to 60 minutes now, so I'm ending this video off. So Om Shanti.